Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with a very exciting introduction because I'm going to introduce my Pan Those Eyeshadows for 2025. I have been doing this project for so many years now. I absolutely love it. It's been a great journey doing this, to be honest. It's the project that got me into eyeshadows properly. It's the one that got me into panning eyeshadows, and partly also into the panning community. So I'm very excited to bring it back this year. It might not be like my favorite product anymore, but it's still up there as one of my tops. And yeah, it's just a super fun one. This product was created by Alexi, which y'all probably know by now because, again, it's been around for so long and so many people take part in it. I will have her link down below. I will also have Laney linked down below because just as last year, and I believe the year before, I'm going to use Laney's prompts when it comes to the eyeshadows. So I'm going to randomize prompts and then pick my eyeshadows from that. So I'm very excited to do that again this year because it's so fun to have prompt-based projects. And it also gives me a bit more kind of freedom with what I can roll in. So I'm excited to jump into this video. But before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So again, I've been on this project a couple of years, so I'm not going to go over rules too long because I'm going to keep it pretty much the same as I normally do. But I'm going to recap it quickly. So you guys probably aren't new to this project, but it's basically a project where you want to pan on your shadows. And how you do that is basically you roll in an eyeshadow. You can do it randomly. You can randomize a palette and pick a shade, or you can hand pick your palettes, or whatever you want to do really. I'm using the prompt list from Laney. And then once you have a shadow rolled in, you basically just want to use it until you hit pan, or unless you have a usage goal threshold. And at that point, you can, in that case, roll it out if you hit that threshold. I have usually had a threshold 15, but I have this year decided to increase it to 20. So my usage threshold per shadow is going to be 20 uses instead of 15, just to push it a little bit more and maybe hit pan on a couple more shadows this year. So that is the main difference. Otherwise, I think I'm going to keep it the same as last year. The second kind of part of this is obviously how many eyeshadows you're working on. And in the past, I think I've mostly done 5 shadows. But last year, I only did 4, and I'm going to continue doing only 4. I feel like it's a good amount of shadows. It means that I'm not usually so overwhelmed. So I'm going to stick with 4. And yeah, just kind of, again, hit pan or 20 uses. So I think that's going to be it. I feel like I'm rushing through the rules, but I feel like no one is new to this project, which is kind of why I'm doing that, because I feel like it's going to be repetitive for everyone else, because I'm sure all of you guys just want to see me roll in eyeshadows, and also I'm very excited to roll in my eyeshadows and my prompts. So that's kind of why I'm rushing through the rules. But if you have any questions about the rules or anything like that, let me know in the comments and I can explain more there. But otherwise, again, I don't think anyone of you are new to this project. So I'm going to jump into the randomization of the prompts. All right, so we have the list here, and I have not reset it from last year. I still have the kind of list. Well, I have the ones that I used last year blacked out, and I might continue doing that. I think I might just not reset it this year and see like what else I can get, so I don't keep using the same prompts I did last year. And maybe eventually I can actually finish the wheel too. Probably not this year, but maybe at some point. So I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to roll my first prompt. And we get a shadow you want to pan. Okay, what an easy start. Okay, that's amazing. It's going to be difficult though, because I don't really know what I want to pan, because I don't really have color story or anything like that. But it probably will be one of my singles, because as you might know, I'm doing a project this year when I want to use all my singles 25 times. So that would help that project too. So maybe I'll know that, but I don't know what else. So that is the first prompt. Let me roll the second prompt. And we have blue shadow matte. Okay, that's definitely a little bit harder than the last one. So that is the second one. Yeah, definitely a bit harder, but I'm sure I will make it work. The third prompt is going to be a shadow that starts with L. Okay, I'm going to have to go through my list and see what that is. And then the last prompt will be yellow shadow shimmer. Okay, so we have one matte, one shimmer for sure. Oh, that's another thing that I didn't mention in the rules. I always want to have at least one matte in this project, but that's it. I can have 3 shimmers and 1 matte if I want. I can have, you know, 4 mattes if I want. Actually, no, let's say at least 1 of each. But at least, you know, I can have 3 mattes and 1 shimmer if I want, 3 shimmers and 1 matte if I want, and anything in between, but at least 1 of each. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and have a look for my collection. I probably will take a while because I need to figure out a nice color story. And then once I have selected what I want to work on, I will be right back. Alright, so I'm back, and it didn't take as long as I thought it would to pick out my shadows. I kind of started with like the colors, and then I went for the letter, and then lastly I chose what I want to pan. And for what I want to pan, I actually went for something that I didn't think I would, because I said I'd probably go for a single, but I didn't. I went for this palette right here because this is a palette that I absolutely love, and I feel like this is the perfect time of year to reach for it. So I wanted to pull this one in and pan something used to have more of an excuse to reach for this palette. So that's exactly what I did. And I was looking at like the palette and what I want to pan. And I decided to go with one of my favorite shades, which is one of the shimmers. It is this one right here, and that is called Blissful. Let me go ahead and swatch it for you. And there we have Blissful. It's just such a beautiful neutral kind of tone with like a blue shift to it. Well, it's a blue to pink shift and then like a taupey base. And I think that's going to be so much fun to reach for, and it's going to work really nicely with some of the more neutral tones that I'm panning from my Pan That palette. So very excited, and definitely want to pan this one, so perfect for the prompts. The second shadow that I rolled was Blue Shadow Matte. So of course I went for Blue Matte. This is the shade that I went for. It's a bit more of a stormier type of blue. It's a little bit more of a beauty blue, which I think again will work perfectly for the season. And that is this single right here, which comes from Sydney Grace. It is a beautiful, beautiful color. This is the shade Perfect Storm, and it swatches so perfectly. This is like one swipe, barely built up. So super pigmented, super nice, and I'm very excited to reach for this one too. I think it will work nicely with, like, to make blue looks, but also to pair with more kind of taupier, cool tone shades if I want to kind of just incorporate the blue with more cool tone shades, which again is something that I wear more this time of year. So I think this one is going to be really nice. And so it has that bit more kind of muted undertone. I think it will work well in both manners. So for a shadow starting with L, I went through my spreadsheet and looked for all of my shadows starting with L, but I didn't get too far before I found the shadow that I want to work on. And that is another single. This one here is very bright, as you can see. This is the shade Land on the Stars from Terra Moon. So another single, another indie single. And that is the swatch right there. It's like a neon yellow, kind of like, it has a little bit of like a greenish undertone, but I think it's just because it's so vibrant. So definitely like another beautiful matte. I think this one will work nicely with this one. I think they can make a beautiful look, and I think it's going to be a nice pop of color. I can probably wear it on my corners. I can wear it with, again, more neutral tones, and just in my crease as like a little accent, or I can wear it all over my lid if I wanted to go for something super bright. So very excited for this one. This one is also quite thin because it did actually shadow on me and I had to repress it, and I lost some shadows. So it's a little bit thinner than normal. That's also why I'm a little bit more kind of, you know, fragile with it, but I'm hoping that it's not going to break on me when I hit pan, or if I hit pan. But that's going to be the next shade, another matte actually. So we're actually going to do even, so 2 shimmers, 2 mattes. So the next shade is a shimmer. But yeah, overall very, very excited. Another reason why I picked this one is of course because of the next prompt, which I rolled, if you remember correctly, was a yellow shadow shimmer. So this one will work nicely with that too. But yeah, this one I'm very excited for. And it's another single, which will again help with that project. It's probably going to be a reoccurring theme. I'm going to try not to just have singles. That's also one of the reasons why I rolled in a palette for my something you want to pan. But yeah, that is the third shadow. And then for the last shadow we rolled in again was a shimmer yellow shadow. And I decided to go with another single. This is another shade from Terra Moons. This here is the shade Lightspeed. So it could also be rolled in for starts with L, I guess. But this is a yellow base, as you can see, but it has a blue to pink shift running through it. You probably won't be able to see that on camera, but you can see the blue there, which is really good. Yeah, you can really see the blue there on camera running through it, but it goes into, like, when I'm looking at it, it looks like a pink shift. So very, very versatile shadow. And again, you can hopefully see that yellow base as well. Because it is quite vibrant, you can definitely see it there at least. So I actually think this one will be perfect because it can pair with the blue, it can pair with the yellow, it can pair with other neutral shades. So I think this one will be very, very versatile. And then of course we have that like more neutral tone on top, and doesn't necessarily go with everything else, but I think it can pair with the blue actually, if I wanted to go for more of a cool tone look. But yeah, overall very, very excited for my color story. I think I did a pretty good job. Maybe it's not the most like wintry color story, but actually if you remove the yellow, it it is pretty wintry, and I think this one again would work with the other shades that I rolled in. So overall, very excited, and of course very excited to start this project again. I am pre-filming this a little bit, and not that much, but a couple days, just because I was just so excited to start this project that I've been doing my makeup for the last couple of days, and I just have not known what kind of makeup to do. I'm really happy with my look today, but before that point I was like, I don't know what to reach for, because I didn't have many shadows to like have into projects, and especially like colorful shades, which is another reason why I'm so happy that I rolled colorful shades. I wasn't sure what to reach for, so that's also one of the reasons why I'm pre-filming this a little bit, just to have a couple more shadows that I'm panning, and to have like an easy go-to shadow if I don't know what I want to reach for. But I'm gonna wrap up this video here. I really hope you enjoyed it. I will have my previous playlist for my Pan Those Eyeshadows linked down below, and you can see me in my video going up tomorrow. Bye guys!